What is going on, listeners?
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I would do even more better if you would tell me about this wonderful app we're using.
I think you might be to put a little much on it, but okay. Let me tell you about this wonderful app we're using. We're using Anchor. Anchor. And if you don't know what Anchor is, if you've ever wanted to do a podcast, listen to podcasts, want to start a podcast, want to do a podcast with your friends, Anchor is the best place to get started. Point blank, period. Because number one,
it is free, guys.
Free 99er.
Absolutely free.
Can't beat free.
No, can't beat it.
And
all.
I mean, there's a creation tool, helps you record and edit right from your phone or computer, however you feel like it, so you can get it just the way you like it. If you don't have, all the equipment, it's not going to stop you from recording or creating a podcast. That's all yours. Right? Yeah, I love the input. Anchor will also help distribute your podcast so it can be heard just about anywhere, such as
Spotify,
and
Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean.
Yeah, that's a good one that you just learned today.
Or wherever you listen to your podcast
wherever.
at, you can find Date Night on there.
Ooh, nice plug. And you can monetize your podcast, no minimum listenership. Start making that good old money just for having people, listen to your podcast, your thoughts that probably no one else should ever hear. But, hey, that's what podcasts are for, right?
Right.
It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So if I were you, I would go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm. Where's it at, babe?
Anchor.fm.
Start your podcast today.
Hey.
In my heart, you're all I feel. In my heart, you're all I feel. In my heart, you're all I feel.
Welcome back to another fantabulous episode of
Date Night.
Yes, sir. I am Tracy.
And I am Kieawnna.
And this is Date Night. The redundancy. So, what are we going to be doing today?
Today, we are going to be doing one of my favorite musicals, because as you guys know, I said it before, I really love musicals, depending on the musical. I don't love all musicals, but yeah, so we are going to do Chicago.
It's weird because this movie is called Chicago and there's not a whole lot of Chicago in it.
It's just based in Chicago. Like, I guess Chicago is like the city of Broadway.
Maybe, but the dude even keeps saying, this is Chicago. Every 5 minutes, he's like, hey, Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. This is Chicago. Oh, this is Chicago.
But it's like, everybody's always putting on a show.
It's not really Chicago. There's nothing Chicago about this movie. That's the only thing I'm just like, this movie could have been called anything. They could have called it Jailhouse Blues because it mostly takes place in jail.
I don't know. It's called Chicago.
Whatevs.
So, yes. We're going to dive right in.
Do your thing. I'm here along for the ride today.
So this movie starts off with the 5, 6, 7, 8. And then...
And you were really excited for that because as soon as you're doing dance moves, just sitting down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on over here?
No, so it starts off, and it's a lot of stuff going on. People are running around. They're singing. You get a man, he's walking around asking everybody, like, where's the Kelly sisters? Have you guys seen them? And, oh, sorry, draw the blank. Yeah, so he's asking, like, has anybody seen them? He's looking for them. Nobody's seen them. And then we meet Velma. They don't say her name just yet.
Played by Catherine Zeta-Jones.
And she's rushing out of the,
she's rushing out of somewhere.
Yeah, she's rushing out of her cab.
Yeah,
she's rushing out of the cab to get into the club, the jazz club. And he's telling her, like, you're late. And she's like, I know, I'm going upstairs to change right now or whatever. He's like, where's your sister? And she's all like, she's not feeling herself tonight. I'm doing it alone. And that's kind of that. And then she gets on stage. Well, she hears and change. She gets on stage.
Well, you rushed over the part where she's literally washing blood off her hands.
She was washing. She did. So when she got up to her room, she's washing the blood off of her hand, like very quickly, changing. And then she gets on stage and she's doing her thing. And she's singing a song, which I'm guessing is called All That Jazz.
Well, it said it right there on the captions, I think. All That Jazz. So, yeah, maybe the song is All That Jazz.
And, like, you said the song didn't really make sense. And
no, it sounds like a Rick Ross song because she's just, like, saying random things. She'd be like, sitting in a table and all that jazz.
It's all like all that jazz, like, and all that other stuff.
But it was just like,
it's kind of like how people be like, yep, and I was like, whooping whooping.
But none of the things she said coincided with each other. It's like how do you go from sitting at a table and now you're like skiing in the Himalayas? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
All you gotta say is all that jazz, and then we just skip it.
I don't like it. That is a cheap storytelling tool.
You know what happened.
It is a cheap storytelling tool, and I will not allow it.
So while she's up there, doing her thing, singing, we meet Roxy, and she's played by
an anteater. I mean, Renee Zellweger.
And she's watching Velma perform. And she's just like amazed because that's what she wants to do. And she even like visualizes herself up on stage, the one who's performing. And Fred interrupts her. And he's like, come on, you ready? And she's like, I didn't even get to meet the guy yet. He's like, oh, I told him all about you. The
guy.
Yeah, your friend. I didn't get to meet your friend yet. He's like, I told him all about you. He's really interested in meeting you and stuff like that. But, let's go. He's busy or whatever. And she's just like, okay. So they end up leaving, and with them leaving, they're like kind of like kissing and running, and then they get to the room. I mean, they're her apartment building, and they're kissing and running up the stairs, which I never understood. Why do people do that? Like, is that something that people really do?
I personally don't think that happens in real life. I think that's like a movie thing that's supposed to show like passion and
like,
youthful.
Oh, right, like we can't wait to.
Yeah, like I don't think that's not how it works. Like, outside of being stupid drunk, maybe,
yeah.
But I don't think just people are just like running into everyone's doors on the way in there. One step, another step. Oh my God, here goes another step. Like it's annoying because it's like, hurry up.
Yeah, and they hit one of the I don't know if she was a tenant or if she owned the place, but they hit her door and she opens the door and she falls in, kind of. And she was all like, oh, I forgot her name, but she's like, the landlady.
I don't think
she was all like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, have you met my brother? And then they start laughing, which is weird. Yeah.
I said that
part
immediately.
was weird too.
I was like,
why would you introduce him as your brother?
Well, okay, so this is my theory on that. She knows, the landlady knows that she's married, right? So if she's introducing...
She's like Mrs. Hart.
She's introducing herself, or she's introducing this man as her brother, so that when I guess if the husband ever asks questions or something like that, she'd be like, "Oh, yeah, her brother was over there," which would just bring up more questions.
But not anyway. Only like, but why are you and your brother like banging on my door or like up against my door? Like that's just
look
weird. I mean, of course, she didn't believe it.
That's why this movie should be called Alabama. See what I did there?
So I didn't.
Do you see it? Golly.
It went over my head. I'm
Wasted.
sorry. Yeah, sorry.
While all that is going on, Velma is being arrested.
Yeah, the police get there, and she doesn't really seem phased.
She knew
knows.
what the fuck was gonna happen. Yeah,
she knows. So then we get to back to Roxy and Fred, and they're in there having sex. And after they get done having sex, Fred just turns into a complete asshole. He gets up and he immediately goes to the bathroom, starts doing whatever, changing, washing his hands, brushing his teeth. And she's just talking to him like nothing's going on. And he's obviously like trying to hurry up and get out of the room. And she's all trying to like touch on him while she's talking to him. And he's just like, move, get away from me. And then she's still talking like, yeah, I really wish I get to meet your friend. And he was all like, there is no friend. That was my first time walking into that club.
Yeah. And then this is like, you can't, she wants to be in show business, but she's not going to make it if she's going to be that fucking naive. Because he was like, yeah, I would have told you anything to get to
get a piece of that.
Duh.
And she was just all like, what? And then, he told her, like, you're just a 2-bit piece with no talent and nice legs. And
he said, you're a hot piece of ass with a 2-bit talent. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So then she was just all like, what? And she's like, but Fred, come on. And then this one, he just gets really irritated because he grabs her and pushes her in the corner of the wall. And, she's just a little all fragile. And I think that's what they kind of did to in the movie. They made her like really but
I think that was also
fragile.
by design to make her seem like weak and timid and like the nice girl look or whatever the case may be. But
so
the question, because what he says next, he's like, you stay down or I'll really smack your one.
He's like, you touch me again and I'll put your lights out. And she's all like, wait, Red. I don't like her cries in this.
No, it's ugly. It's very anteater-ish.
But she's just all like, but Fred, and he just turns around like, what? And then, but while she's like calling his name, she's fidgeting, and she's like, you lied to me. And then he turns around and she shoots him like,
she gets the gun out of her dresser, and she shoots him twice. And I just, what a time to be alive. Like, this dude was just like, hey, if you touch me again, I'll smack the shit out of you with no fear of repercussions, because, that was back when it was okay to hit a broad. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And she shoots him, and she stays there.
Because she
until
realized,
the police come.
Like you were talking about how crime out of the heat of passion, and you could tell that she knew what she did like after the fact, because she's just looking at herself through the mirror, and then you get that jazz.
Does that happen?
Yeah,
I missed that. I 100%
all that jazz.
I just shot a guy. And all that jazz.
I'm gonna rot in jail till I'm old as hell.
And all that jazz.
So the police come and everything, and then we get to meet Roxy's husband, Amos.
Yeah, played by John C. Reilly.
Yeah, and Amos in the movie, he's just portrayed as a pushover. Nobody notices
him.
Yeah,
guy.
but he's too nice.
Nice guys finish
last. He wants to see the good in everybody. So he's already told the police officer that, I did it. I'm the one who shot the guy.
He said, this guy was a burglar.
Yeah, and then so we get the detective. He comes, and the cop told him, like, oh, it's an open and shut case. We already know what happened. The husband's the one who shot him. He's like, yeah, I'll ask the questions around here. So he makes Roxy and Amos go into the other room and has Amos sit on the bed. And Roxy's over there, like, trying not to seem guilty. So Amos tells him, like, in song. Well, no, she's the one who's singing. So she's singing how Amos just loves her and all this stuff. And while she's singing, Amos is telling telling the police officer that, I came home and I saw this man, hovering over my wife. And imagine if I didn't get there.
He really tries to play it up for like the sympathy. Like, well, I had no choice. Like, he could have violated. You know what I mean by violated, right? You know
something.
Or something, yeah. And he's really playing it up. Like, if I hadn't gotten here when I got here, what? I don't even want to think about what would have happened. Like,
doing what a good husband does. Like, he doesn't want to see his wife in.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
Why'd you look at me like
you said he does
He's
what
a good husband. Like, he took the rap for her.
That is not a good husband. I'm sorry. That is a dumb husband.
Because she said that he was going to get off. And he was. If that detective didn't show up, okay, we're about to get to that part. But yeah,
not a good husband. This nigga.
But yeah, so the cops listening to this, the detectives listened to the story. And then he was like, okay. And then he's like, so the guy who came in was Fred Casely. And then Amos is like, wait, Fred Casely?
I know that guy.
Yeah, how could he be a burglar? He just sold me and my wife a piece of furniture last week and all stuff. And then it clicks. He puts two and two together. And he's like, oh, so she's two-timing me, huh, then, right? He was all like, yeah. And then he just spills everything. Yeah, she told me that she already had the sheet covered over when I walked in the house. She told me, like, please, Amos, take this one for me because they'll let you go and you're more likely to get off. And so, yeah, he's really upset that he just found out that his wife has been cheating on him.
Yeah, and not just that, because they also have the neighbor lady who was like, yeah, I've seen them like 4 out of 5
Yeah, she comes up and
she's like, yeah, 4 times out of the week he's been here, and he's like, oh, okay, this bitch tried to play me.
So then Roxy gets all mad at Amos, and she's like, you're a disloyal husband. He's like, what, are you serious? You've been cheating on me, Roxy. And then she's all like, you said.
No, he used the word. What was the word? Oh my God, it was such a fun word. Because I love the lingo where he was like, you've been tooling or fooling on me or something like that. He said something cool. Oh, God damn it. It was so good.
You should have wrote it down.
I should have. I didn't. Fuck.
So Roxy starts talking to the detective. She's like, hey, look. He was trying to burgle me. I didn't mean to kill him and all stuff. And he's like, but from what I heard, he's been burgling you like 4 times out of the week.
Yeah,
and
burglar.
she was all like, like she's still trying to cover her ass. And he was like, look, stop talking. What you're saying doesn't make sense. He was all like, did you know that he had a wife and a whole
and 5 kids?
Yeah, 5 little Fred Casleys running around. And
now she's mad. I can't believe him.
Bastard!
I shot him and I shoot him again.
He's like, that once is enough, lady. Take her away.
Now, this is the part right here that should honestly shoot this movie dead. We just had a confession to the murder. Mm-hmm. We had an eyewitness to the murder. We have motives. We have everything, including the husband saying, yeah, she tried to get me to cover for her murder. Movie's over. She's guilty. She's going to hang.
Yeah, and that's what he told her when she got in the back of the police car. The judge said, or the lawyer down at the court said, this is a hanging case. And she's like, hanging? What do you mean about hanging? Hey, hanging.
They are going to hang you, lady.
Yeah, so Roxy is on her way to jail. And that's when we meet Queen Latifah, whose name in the movie is Mrs. Morton, but they call her Mama. And we get her song. She introduces herself.
And her 2 friends.
Her 2 friends? Oh.
Yes, she is not singing this solo. She has got 2 other gals with her. Continue.
Yeah,
no, I
got
it. I don't know.
You got it.
I don't know. She's singing this song about, if you help Mama, I'll help you. There's a bunch of double entendres
if
here.
You want my gravy.
No. There's so much going on in this
song. Be good
song.
to Mama. She'll be good.
She's talking about stroking people. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. So she's basically saying how she runs the jail. And how if you play her game, like she don't mind helping you. You scratch her back, she'll scratch your back.
Which based on how it looks in the movie, it seems like everybody's cool. Like as far as jails go, it's not that
Right?
bad.
You know, and she's telling them, like, when you first meet her, she's all, like, nice and talking. And she's like, yeah, you know, and if you want to cry, a shoulder to cry on, all this stuff, well, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Now get to work.
I mean, and it is what it is. But at the same time, she's like, it's not personal.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's
She's
all
not
business.
mean for the sake of mean. She does her job, but she's also, you know, skimming a little off the side, which I want to know how much she's making. Because she talk about $50 phone calls and stuff like that.
She's really charging them up in
and
there.
at that time, that's a lot of money. Shit.
Yeah. So Roxy, you know, is trying to ask her when she shows Roxy her room and everything.
Room?
I mean, not her room.
Where the fuck do you think she is?
She's walking her through the prison and she shows her to her cell.
Her
And
room.
her-
Lord have mercy. This ain't no hotel.
So Roxy is trying to ask her, like, you know, hey.
Oh my God. No,
What?
I do wait. I got to say, because I love this part when he was like, all right, we're going to take you down to Murderous Row. And she goes, oh, is it nicer there? And I was just
Where she said that's where all the murders are. And Mama just like looked at the other guy, just like rolled her eyes.
Yo,
like,
I was like,
this
she's
girl.
not going to make it. Is it nicer there? Who the fuck says that? It's prison. No, it's Murderous Row. Chances are it's worse.
Yeah, and so we see too, while Mama is showing her around, we see Velma again, and she's like, you know, Mama, come here, look. They got my name in the paper, and you know, I forgot what it said, but she was basically in the spotlight. And then Mama was like, well, how can you afford that kind of publicity? And she was like, I can afford anything I want. And she took out, what, like $2?
It's like $3.
Yeah, and then she's all like looking at it, and Mama like takes it and was like, yeah, something has to go through me or whatever the case may be.
Nice.
So yeah, like I said, they take her to her cell. Oh, and then Roxy tries to talk to Velma. Not really talk to her. It's like a fan. She's like, oh my gosh, hey, you're Velma Kelly, the Velma Kelly. I was there that night you got arrested.
Yeah.
And she was all like, oh, so what? You and half of Chicago. Like,
yeah. She's a real bitch right here.
yeah. So then she takes Roxy to her cell.
She tries. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Mama, it's really freezing in here. If you couldn't happen to slide me a couple of she just walks away like, why are you talking?
The officers who with her, he hit his baton against the cell.
Oh, okay. I thought she did it.
No, yeah, he did it, and then you know, it's basically she looked at her like you said, like you haven't gotten any favors.
You haven't earned that. What do you want me to get you some extra blankets? What are you gonna give me?
Exactly. So Roxy starts crying, and she ends up falling asleep, but she's kind of waking up by a loud dripping water noise, which turns into a song. Again,
what? No way. A song?
You have to love musicals to sit through a musical that literally it's like song after song after song. Like these
you
songs,
can't go 5-6 minutes without a song being played.
This is really like it's a real musical. Like they are really telling this movie through song.
And it is nerve fucking wrecking. Although this song I enjoy.
Yeah,
I like this one.
I was telling you about this song before.
Yeah,
you know,
you
like,
have.
what the hell?
Yeah, 'cause you're just like, yo, first off, all I hear is a song about psycho women killing people.
Yeah, it's called I forgot what they called the Death Row song or something like that.
I forgot what it's
Death
called,
Row. Yeah,
but I called it They Had It Coming.
So it turns into a song. It turns into a song, and then we get introduced to the other ladies
who aren't important at all.
Not
Only two of them are.
They're not important, but they're also on death row as well. How Roxy is.
Which is weird because they have said that they haven't hung a woman in 47 years in the state of Chicago, or in Cook County specifically. I don't even know about the state of Illinois, or let alone the city of Chicago. But in Cook County, they haven't hung a woman in 47 years. But yet there are all these fucking women about to be hung
on death row. Yeah.
Like this seems more like the DA dude has just got it. Like he's like, if I can get like 10 to this year, then me being governor is a sure win or some shit. Like that's what it feels like. There's way too many of them right now.
So we get our pop 6 squish.
You wrote them down?
Scissor
Thought you would have known that
and
off the
lip
top.
shift. I do.
I thought you would have known that right off the top of your
I do, but
goddamn head.
I just wrote it, just in case. So, like you said, we get to meet some of these women who are on death row, and we get to find out why they're in jail and why they're on, why they might be hung. So, the first girl, I don't know.
She killed her fucking husband because he was popping gum.
Because she was really irritated that day, and all she wanted to come home and get a little sympathy from Bernie.
Don't try to spin this to make her seem like she's justified. The fuck out of here.
And here comes a Bernie just on the couch chewing. No, not chewing, popping.
Because
why are you looking at me like that?
You fucking sound like those psycho women.
No, because I think it's just like, wow, like how you just have to have a lot of mental problems if you're gonna kill somebody over popping a freaking piece of gum.
Yes,
like you could have left
100%.
She could have left the room. She could have did
what
anything.
I said.
Like, did she even ask him not to pop his gum? She told him, if you pop that gum one more time, like if somebody was like, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna do it. Like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
But she learned what he did, what she was gonna do. So, yeah. So she said she took a shotgun off of the mantle,
and she fired 2 warning shots
right in his head. And then the song is,
"She had it coming. She had it coming.
He only had himself to blame. If you had been there, if you had seen it, I bet you would have done the same."
This is so bad. No matter how.
Oh my gosh! So then we get the next girl, and her husband. It's not her husband. It was just some dude she met, and they were messing around. His name was Ezekiel. He lied to her. He was a Mormon. So when she found that out, that he had a bunch of wife and kids out there, she poisoned his drink. She fixed him a drink like nothing was wrong.
Said some men just can't handle their arsenic.
Yeah, and she pulled like a red bandana out his mouth. So yeah, she killed him because of that. And then we get June, whose husband kept messing with her, saying, "You screwing the milkman." And she's all like, "No, I'm not." And he keeps saying it and saying it. So she just got fed up. And she never said, "No, I'm not." She just said he kept accusing me. Oh, yeah. Which means that she was definitely screwing the milkman. So he ran into her knife. He ran into her knife 9 times. So fuck, like I don't even. Oh man, this movie can only be made with female killers. 10 times. She stabbed him 10 times. And then we get the Hungarian woman. Now, for the longest, I have always wondered what this lady was saying. She's the only one who is innocent throughout the whole thing. All right, who at least proclaims her innocence. Yeah, and pretty much it's fucked up because she's only in jail, too, because nobody can understand what she's saying. Yeah. And pretty much what I read yesterday, I can't find it now, but what I read yesterday was that she was in jail, and this part she's speaking in Russian. So what she was saying was that the police are basically saying that she helped somebody kill her husband, that while they were holding him, she cut his head off. And no, that's not funny. Yeah, so now she's in jail. And like I said, so nobody can understand anything she's saying. So then after that part, it's kind of like all slowed down and sad. And then we get Velma. Now, Velma, I'm not saying she's justifiable for it. She's not. You're about to say it. You are about to say that she's justified for it. I'm saying an ass whooping could have just been preferable. Like, she didn't have to kill them. You are about to say it. A good ass whooping would have been good. You are literally about to say that. An ass whooping, no. An ass whooping would, she should never killed them. But I'm saying an ass whooping. But see, this is the problem. And this is what I'm saying. Like, this is a movie like this. Like, imagine this in the reverse. Let's say it's like, this movie doesn't work with men because crimes of passion don't happen the same way. Like, she was legitimately, like you said. Well, let me say what she did first. Yeah, say what she did. Say what she did. Okay, so it wouldn't even be interesting. She said her and her husband, her sister, they're in an act together. And
Well, it was just her and her sister, and the husband is just the husband, right?
Yeah. So, but they traveled together. So they were drinking and partying, and she went to go get some ice. Now, why she left her sister in the room with her husband, anyways, to go get some ice is
Better question. Like, how long does it take to get ice?
Exactly, for them to do anything. So yeah, so she leaves to go get some ice.
I don't get that at all.
Yeah, me either. I said that before too.
Because she was like, yeah, I left to go get ice, and when I get back, they're doing the do.
They're doing number 17, the spread eagle. And so she killed them. She said that she blacked out.
And she doesn't remember.
Yeah, she doesn't remember what happened, but she knew they were dead because she woke up and she seen blood on her hands.
But she still says she didn't do it.
But she didn't do it.
Yes, fuck, she did. Point is, A, like we said, how long does it take to get ice? And B, her story doesn't make any sense to me either, because if she went to go get ice and then somehow between that couple of minutes that she went to go get ice and her sister, like, were they like, all right, guys, we have approximately 3.5 minutes. Like, come the fuck on. No, she killed.
How did they get in that position that quickly?
She got there and they were still just playing cards, and she killed them anyways because she was tired of sharing the spotlight with her sister. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to
that?
it. Yes, I don't think I do. I 100% think that.
So you don't think that
I don't think she blacked out.
No, I don't think she blacked out either.
She killed them. Came to the show,
they were cheating.
Ripped her sister's face off.
Because her sister was messing around with her husband.
I don't believe that. I believe that she just wanted the spotlight to herself.
I don't believe that either, though.
I mean, we want to rock, paper, scissors for it? She's right? I'm down. Let's go.
I don't believe that.
You're wrong. I think you're wrong. I don't think you're fully wrong. I think they might have been, but I don't think that's why she killed them. I think she killed them because, she's a psychopath. Like, everyone's a psychopath in this movie. Get to the next one.
So then we get to Maya's character. Like I said, I don't know their names.
They didn't give them names.
Yeah. Well, when we have the subtitles on, it said their names, but
did it?
Right down. Oh. Yeah. I just know the black girl. Her name was June.
And I know that this is Maya.
And then Velma.
And this is Maya.
So yeah. So Maya, they really don't go into details of what she did. All she said was she met some dude named Lipschitz, and
Dr. Lipschitz.
And he was very artistic, and they had fun together. And while they were together, he also had fun with a few other women. And he saw himself alive, and she saw him dead.
Yeah, she didn't ever say, yeah, you're right.
Now that they didn't say anything how she killed him or anything.
Her story was kind of the weakest of them, because it was like
he saw himself alive.
I saw him dead, and it was like, well, okay, leave.
So yeah, so after we get that story, where are we?
We get to the part where we find out that they work, and it's really boring. Basically, what's her name?
Yeah.
Roxy, she's doing something in the bathroom, and she hears Mama and Velma hatching some sort of plan to keep her famous. Like, this is the part that irritates me. It doesn't seem like Velma's interested in getting out. It seems like she's more interested in staying relevant.
Yeah.
So that's the whole plan. She was like,
keep her name out
give me $50 and I can make a call to somebody who can get you on Broadway or whatever it is that she's trying to do at the time. And that's pretty much her whole, that's Velma's whole angle. She's trying to turn all this fame and publicity of being a famous killer into a career after the fact.
And like you said, so Roxy is listening to them the whole time. And then when she sees Velma about to leave the room, she hurry up and gets out the bathroom so she can give her underwear and stuff.
Gross.
So Velma is about to tip her, and she's like, "Oh no, I just would like advice." And Velma's like, "On what?" And she was all like, I'm a huge fan, pretty much, and they're saying that my case might be a hanging case and all stuff, and I'm scared. I just want to know, like, what should I do? And then she was all like, oh no, what did she say? Like, I really wanted to be in the spotlight too. And Velma was like, oh, what's your talents? Washing and drying? And then she was all like, no. And so Velma was like, okay, well, here's an advice. Tip from me to you. Keep your hands off of my underwear. And then that was it. And then Roxy was just like, thanks for nothing. So Mama overhears the conversation and she calls Roxy into her office. And, they're talking and she was telling her, like, with a pretty face like yours, you could beat a case, but you just need the right lawyer to do it with. And, she was all like, first, I got to make a phone call. And she was all like, it's going to be $100. And Roxy was like, wow, that's pretty steep for a phone call.
Yeah, but Billy Flynn, he's the best. He has a way with women in cases.
And he's never lost a case.
And
when she said that, she was all like, wait, he's never lost a case? And
I thought you were gonna say something. I was like, you're right. Like, she's like, okay, it's a lot of money, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. And then, of course, gullible ass fucking Amos is the one who's coming up. But
so that's when we get our song, We Want Billy. And this song
I love this song too.
But he is nothing like this person.
No, because in the song is all I care about is love.
Yeah,
and he's talking about, I don't want your things. I don't give a shit about the clothes or the diamonds and all that shit. I just want love. And then when you see him in real life, she's like, Billy, can you help my case? He was like, if you don't get your fucking poor hands off of me.
And then we get
you got $5,000,
right? We get the Russian woman, not guilty. He was like, yep, that's what everybody's saying. Like, and it just, but yeah. So,
$5,000.
Yeah, we get to Billy, and she stopped him, and she was like, oh, well, Mama said she told you about me. He's like, oh yeah, the cute one. And then he was like, oh, you got $5,000. She's like, well, that's kind of steep. And then she tries to seduce him, and he's just letting her try.
He was like, that's cool, but $5,000.
Yeah, he's like, great. Now that you got that off your chest, it's still going to be $5,000. So, and like you said, poor Amos, how are they still? I wouldn't even be in touch with her.
What did he raise?
Anymore.
He raised what, like $3,000?
So Amos raised $2,000.
I thought he was like, he had like 15, then he got like, okay, there's math involved, and I didn't count it all.
It was 2,000.
Fuck math, man.
I've seen this movie a lot of times.
Okay, I'm not gonna disagree with you.
So yeah, so when Amos tells him, like, I only got $2,000, and Billy was all like, I didn't ask you if she was innocent. I didn't ask you if she was guilty. All I asked you was, do you have $5,000?
And you said yes.
And then he was like, and that makes you a dirty liar. And I don't like dirty liars. So you could just leave my office. So Amos was about to take the money and leave.
He was like, wait a minute. Woo. I'll take the case because I'm a man of my word.
And I also, can see you love your wife.
And also $2,000 is better than no $1,000.
Right? So it makes me think like he sets his price high, and then
because he knows that they can't pay, but they'll pay whatever they can.
So Billy goes to see Roxy, and they're about to lie pretty much. He's coming up with a whole new image for her.
He's not even really like a lawyer. He's like an image consultant almost. Where he's just like, all right, this is what we got to do. We got to get them to think you're this. We got to get you're a small town girl. You had a lot of you come from a rich family. You grew up on a farm. All this other
Your
stuff.
Parents died.
You were a nun. You went to go be to school to be a nun.
You got seduced by jazz and liquor, and it was over from
there. It was always jazz.
Jazz
goddamn jazz.
So which was jazz back then was like hip hop or like rap music in a way, like, oh, because you say like it makes you.
It feels that way. Like I obviously not have been around in those times, but like the way it is like jazz was kind of like because it was more upbeat and the dancing was a little more touchy. So it was kind of like, oh my God, that jazz. These harlots out there in their jazz clubs dancing to that jazz.
They're giving her this image, and he wants people to feel sorry for her so he could win over people. He wants people to feel sorry for her. He's trying to get her name in the paper, trying to get her famous so people will love her. And, he said they're going to raise the money and sell all her stuff pretty much.
Yeah, people are going to be buying. And then she does. She starts getting in the papers a little bit. They're starting to, didn't she have like a name? Well, they don't even have a name for it yet. But they're picking up the case, and it's interesting, which means it's going to be headline news.
Mm-hmm.
So they're...
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Look, you got this. I'm just here for the ride, baby.
So Velma is talking to Billy, and she was telling Billy, like, yeah, so I was thinking I'll be on the stage.
He's
and
like,
then,
yeah, sure. Got you.
Yeah, but while he was talking, she was telling him that she was going to, like, flash the jury.
Her
and
thigh.
flash the jury her thigh, and then she was going to faint. And then that's when he was like, yeah, when he seen Roxy come out, because they have changed her look. They got her some hair dye,
Yeah.
so now she's, like, super blonde. And
Which she was. I didn't
She
see
was a
the
dirty-
difference.
she was a dirty blonde.
I didn't see the difference.
Now she's platinum.
I didn't see the difference. I didn't see the difference at all.
So
She cut her hair and it was still the same length.
yeah,
I don't
she
understand
cut her
what
hair
happened.
shorter and like crinkled it more, or whatever. That finger wave. I don't know. But
I don't know either.
But yeah, so she gets down there, and she's pretty much rubbing her look and her publicity in Velma's face, and
Which at first she kind of deserves.
yeah, she's telling him, like, I hope you weren't too bored, and then looks at Velma and then looks back, and she's just all like, oh, okay. So, and then we get to the scene where Roxy is reading her little letters or whatever, and she has her, what is it called when they go out, when they have to talk to the press or whatever?
Press conferences.
Yo, uh-huh.
I mean, you were there. You had the word.
So she had a press conference the next day, and so Velma walked by, and she was all like, hey, I just want to let you know that, Billy's number one client is Billy Flynn. And then she leaves, and then Roxy
She goes,
was
what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, she's like, don't let him hog the spotlight.
Which I was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm living in Bizarro land. What the fuck? Who the fuck cares? Like, shouldn't the case be the most important part?
But like you said, Roxy is obviously not that smart.
She's a dummy.
She really is. Like, she should have been like, well, he is my lawyer. Let me do. But she appealed to what she knows.
This man
how to
has
mess
never
herself up.
lost a case.
Exactly.
Like, you got to let this nigga do what he do.
Right? I'll be a mute. Like, you got it.
Whatever you say. You want me to be from where? I don't know how to do that accent, but I'll figure that shit out, son.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to go home. Shoot. So
yeah, they do go to this press conference, and they're asking her questions, and he's kind of answering at first. He's like, yeah, she says she's sorry, this and that, and this and that. She come from a this, and all the stuff that they went over or whatever. And she just could not help herself. She has to, what did she say?
Because she forgets. So she's pretty much, she tries to hog the spotlight. And she's like, see, I'm a moth recognized by a flame. And
yeah,
I bet you want to know how I shot the bastard, right? And then Billy was like, what the fuck?
He was like, ha 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 ha, that's the jokes.
Shut up,
jokes. Oh my God, jokes. She's kidding, motherfuckers.
Right? So yeah, he does. He looks at her, like, he whispers in her ears. He told her, like, shut up, dummy. And then we get
the dummy song.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but I call it the dummy song. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Oh, yes, so yes, so yes, so yes, so yes, so yes.
I didn't like this one either, but I do like the way it looks.
Billy pretty much painted this whole idea that they were in the midst of a heated argument, and she was trying to leave him, and he wouldn't let her go. There was a gun on the bed, and they both reached for the gun. And pretty much that's all people had to hear. Like, he gave them a headline. They both reached for the gun.
And that was the headline.
Yeah, so, and that was everywhere. It was on newspapers, everything. And, pretty much the song was set up as how the whole world, like all these paparazzi people, the news reporter, they're all his stage. Like
he's pulling the strings.
Yeah,
they're puppets, and he's pulling the strings.
Exactly. And so it's headlines everywhere. Roxy is pretty much famous. They're selling all of her stuff. People
She's got
are feeling
dolls.
Yeah, she has dolls.
Fucking dolls.
People are feeling sorry for her. People are getting her name tattooed on them.
This shit is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking get it. But and this is one of those, that's Chicago. Everybody likes a good mortar storm. Yeah, yeah.
But it was something that she had like a perfume. Her perfume was going for like $20, which was a lot back then.
That's a lot now.
So
I'm not paying $20 for nobody's stank.
So Mama and Roxy are in her cell, and she has all these flowers and everything, and she's asking Roxy, like, so what do you plan on doing after Billy gets you off? And she's just gets into a song how she wants to be on Broadway. She wants to have her own show.
Name and marquees and it's a boring ass song. It is a
I didn't really feel this song either.
Song. It's so slow and it's just her talking about her aspiration. We know, like this, we got that from the beginning of this fucking
and
thing.
what she wanted to do.
She was like, Mom was like, all right, that's cool. I know a guy.
But before she started, like she started to like a little comedy rant thing. She's like, yeah, before I met Amos, I went out with this this ugly guy, and he used to always take me out because he wanted to show me off. You know, ugly guys like to do that.
Everybody's like, ha ha ha.
So Velma is getting irritated with this. She's fed up. She's fed up with hearing about Roxy all the time. She burst into Mama's office and she's like, I'm so tired of hearing about that dumb potato.
She was like, everybody loves her. Everybody loves everything
Mama,
she's doing.
Mama turns around and her hair is exactly like Roxy.
She was like, oh my God, not you too. She was like, what should I do? I was like, you could try. She's like, oh, you think I should just suck up to her like everybody else? She's like, yeah.
It wouldn't kill you.
She's like, I will never, ever suck up to her. And then she's out there, hey, Roxy, what's up, girl? What's going on?
Yeah, but she's like trying to tell her like, hey, so, since my sister is dead, you should take her spot and we can just, tour the world. Like she said, with both of our names out there, we would be unstoppable.
Good idea.
Super famous and all stuff like that. And then, Roxy was all like, she was not really into it. She's trying to act like she don't care.
But she does as her fucking hero.
Does. Yeah. So we get Taye Diggs. So Taye Diggs is in this movie.
And now, Velma Kelly with an act of desperation. I love that. That shit was fucking, I love that. It's the coldest thing. And it is.
Yeah, it was.
She's like, well, see, me and my sister, she does this whole thing where she's singing the song and telling the story about.
First I do 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 do. Then she.
Yeah.
Then we.
I actually like this one too. This one was entertaining as fuck. And yeah, so she was, and you can see it like Roxy's trying to pretend like she's not interested, but she keeps looking up like, whoa, that's pretty fucking
right?
good. Oh,
that looked cool.
Like, that was fucking dope as shit. Should I be No, stick to the plan. Stick to the, like, she's
like, and then we would say, all right, boys, keep your socks up.
And for whatever reason, that really made you laugh out of your.
Because like, keep your socks up. Like, was that like, ooh, he's taking his socks off, girl? He's taking his socks off. Like,
I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, that's weird. Keep your socks up. I know you're ready to get started, but don't move too fast. Oh my God,
socks! Keep your
socks up.
It had you in tears. I don't know. I just didn't. And yeah, then she hit him with the real razzle dazzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Roxy just saw like, where's the part at where you killed your sister?
Ooh.
And then she was like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to kiss my ass and it's not going to work. Oh, they did mention you in the papers.
In the obituaries.
Ooh. Right? Velma Kelly's trial is postponed indefinitely. She's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 words.
It was
and
8.
That was it.
It was 8 words.
She miscounted.
Because she's stupid.
And she just walks off.
Anteaters can't count. That's just a fact of life.
So then now we get to meet Lucy Liu's character. And at first, when I first seen this part, because I was telling you that too, but then I was like, oh, wait, it does. Because I was like, this part really doesn't have anything to do with the movie. But then, yeah, it kind of does.
It's a plot device.
Yeah. So we get Lucy Liu's character, and she comes from a rich family.
She's an heiress. Too much, fruits.
Which it's really weird because Bobby Flynn is Billy Flynn. I'm thinking of Bobby Flay.
It'd be real weird if he was in this. Right? He's like, yeah, I'm about to cook up a whole trial defense up in here.
Oh man, but yeah, so he's at a dinner and he's with
bimbos.
Yeah, he's with his rich friends.
Bimbos.
Well, they weren't all bimbos. There were some guys. Okay, bimbos and a few guys.
There you go.
And he's
moochers.
He gets a call and then he hangs up and he's like, wow, that's crazy. All right. So get this.
So apparently in those 5 seconds, this is the entire story.
Everything he got. He was like, so get this. So there was an heiress and she gets home and, you know, she doesn't think anything of it.
Her,
She sees
her husband sleeping. He usually does. It's not that big a deal.
So she just comes home and while she's getting undressed, she sees a woman come from underneath the sheet. And then she was like, what?
2.
And then another woman comes up. So now she's just like, she doesn't know what to do. Yeah, so she goes and grabs a gun. And then she pointing the gun at him. And he was all like, you know, honey, what are you getting so mad about? I'm alone. And
which I don't believe he said.
Right? But so she shoots him. Then she shoots the 2 women.
Triple homicide.
Yes. So now she's the hottest thing that everybody's talking about, and she's wealthy. So she's getting carried into the jail, and
she is not going quietly.
Yeah, she's like kicking. Billy is laughing, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be representing her." And she's like, "You're not my lawyer. Call somebody else." Like he was all like, "It's not your money, it's your mom's. So I am your lawyer, pretty much."
Boom.
Yeah. So. While all this is going on, Roxy is trying to talk to the reporter, Miss Sunshine. She's trying to talk to Billy, and nobody's giving her the time of day. And she's asking Billy, like, I'm still at the top of your list, right?
He's like, yeah,
and then
yeah,
he's
of
like,
course,
yeah.
of course, yeah.
Then he called her something else. Did he call like Trixie or something?
Yeah, he was like, Trixie. It's Roxy. Yeah, who said it wasn't?
Yeah. So after that, you know, she was all, Velma was all like, hi, like, look, your little stardom is over. There's always somebody hotter coming out. And
then
she was
Roxy
all
was
what?
like, hell,
Yeah,
there
right?
it is.
It's like,
And then
Mr.
she faints.
Yeah, faints. And they're like, oh, Roxy.
She's like, oh, I'm fine. I was really just concerned about the baby.
Yeah, I hope the fall didn't hurt the baby.
And all of a sudden it was like, yo.
Yeah, Queen Latifah, what?
A baby. Right? And Velma was like,
oh,
this
shit.
bitch. How the fuck didn't I think of that shit?
So now everybody's back and they're taking pictures of Roxy and they end up taking her to the doctor.
I literally put in my notes a great idea.
I mean, because it really was.
It was a fucking genius. She was like, all right, what do I do? Think fast, think fast. Everybody likes a baby.
Right? Everybody likes a pregnant woman. So, yeah, they take her to the doctor, and Billy's outside waiting, and the doctor comes out, and he was all like, yep, she's pregnant. And then Billy was all like, what? Get out of here.
No, he's like, well, is she or isn't she? And she was like, she is. And you'll testify to that, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, all right,
now
pull up your file.
And then you see her getting dressed. So Roxy slept with the doctor to get his testimony that she is pregnant. So yeah, so now we get Amos again. And Amos is coming, trying to run through the crowd, screaming, Roxy, Roxy, move. I'm the dad.
I just heard the news. Oh my God, this is fucking incredible.
He's just dumber in this. So the next scene they get Amos, I guess Billy calls Amos, and Billy pretty much sets up like you will know by the end of this movie, this man has everything he does is for a purpose. Like he has a plan for everything. He has a plan on his plan.
God, yeah. It is actually fucking genius.
But yeah, so he calls in Amos and he tells Amos like, oh, congratulations, but wait, you got to do the math, buddy. I don't think this is your baby. And then he was all like, wait, what? He's like, think about it. If the baby is due in September, it can't be your baby. And
he
then,
was like, what? Holy shit.
Yeah, you're right. He's like, so what are you going to do about it? He's like, I'm going to divorce her. That's what I'm going to do. He's like, okay. So then Billy gets a phone call. And then he was like, oh, Andy, you're still here? And he keeps calling him Andy. And he's like, no, my name is Amos. But
Andy.
Then we get Amos' song. It's kind of sad.
He's Mr. Cellophane.
Yeah, like
you just see through him. No one hears him.
Pretty much. He's talking about how everybody walks all over him. Nobody knows his name. Nobody pays attention to him. Like, he just feels like he's invisible to the world.
In there, buddy.
And
in there.
Yeah. So, which I was telling you, what's his name again?
John C. Reilly.
I was like, oh, I didn't know he can actually, like, he could sing a bit. Like, it's not the greatest, but, like, would you think, like, he could, especially when he hit that high note? No.
I would say that I found his singing better than Johnny Depp's in Sweeney Todd. Yeah.
And that's where
I stand by that.
So, got me all flustered. What page are we on?
Okay, so then Billy goes to see what page? What the fuck? Billy goes to see Roxy, and Roxy basically fires her. She's like, I can do this myself. They don't even need you anymore. Like, look, everyone loves me and all this other stuff. And she fires him. And he's like, all right, cool. Remember that shit.
Oh, before that, though, sorry. Because before that.
Get your shit together with your notes.
Before she goes off on Billy, we get the Russian girl. She loses her trial. And she gets the death penalty. And this part is sad too, like I said, because the only reason that she died in this movie is because nobody could not understand what she was saying.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We're in the right order because she fires her. It's the hanging that makes her want to hire him back.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I know what I be talking about sometimes.
Sorry,
I know this is your movie, but I was on a roll.
Do your thing.
So, yes,
Do your
fired
thing.
Billy.
She
then
fired
we
him.
get this Hungarian chick, and it is sad because no one can understand her. And even at the very end, she just says not guilty, and they hang her, and it is terribly fucking sad.
Yeah, it is. So
And then, she's like, holy shit, they are really hanging people out here.
Let me simmer down and call Billy.
Billy, yo, I don't know what the fuck happened. I was tripping. I literally lost my shit. And he was like, all right, so you're going to do everything I fucking say, right? Shut the fuck up and let me handle this.
Pretty much. So we get the Razzle Dazzle song. And Billy is singing to Roxy, and he's pretty much telling her to put on a show. You have to put on a good show if you want them to believe.
Give them the old razzle dazzle.
If you want them to hang on to your every word, to believe what you're saying, you need to put on a good acting show.
And stop on your left foot. Don't forget it.
So in the midst of this, Amos, they call Amos to the stand, and Roxy is sitting down knitting.
We're at the trial now.
Yeah, and Roxy is sitting down knitting, and Billy is questioning Amos like, well, I hear that you're divorcing Roxy. And he was all like, yeah, because that's not my baby. And Billy was like, well, how do you know that's not your baby? Have you ever spoken to your wife to ask her if the baby was yours?
He was like, well, no.
He's like, well, yeah, no, I haven't. He was like, well, ask her. And
he was like, hey, that's my baby? She was like, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And she gets up and then she hugs him, and then you hear everybody
He's like, I'll take it. No, that's what he was like. If you found out right now, without a shadow of a doubt, that was your baby, would you take her back? He was like, yeah, what the fuck is happening right now? Like,
well, it is. It is.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
She shook her head. And like I said, everybody was like, aw. So even Billy was kind of like, gosh.
Dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
This thick ass motherfucker.
So then after that, Roxy gets on stage, and he's questioning Roxy, and they're going back and forth because everything's rehearsed. They rehearse this, and she forgets her lines.
Yeah, essentially
and
she forgets what
he
the
was
fuck.
all like, did he threaten you, Roxy? And Your Honor.
Objection.
Yeah.
He's leading the witness. Sustained. Get your shit together.
Right? So then Roxy puts on her best performance. Well, first she flashes a little thigh, and then she puts on her best performance, and then she faints. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, Roxy. And they're trying to, make sure she's okay. And while all this is going on, Mama and Velma are listening to
the trial.
Yeah.
Because there's no TVs. It's all radio.
So yeah, they're listening to the trial, and Velma's getting mad because she found out that Roxy stole everything that she was gonna do.
And Mama brought her girls to this conversation too, and all four of them are in there just like, yo, yeah, this is what happens. You do a lot for people,
You're
and they don't
make
even
them
take
think it's actual girls in the room.
titties. Does that help? Did I paint that picture?
Oh God!
Mama brought her titties with her. I thought saying girls would be a little more subtle, but since you decided that the people weren't smart enough to figure that out, I'm just gonna say.
For somebody who's never seen this movie, they're like, "Oh, now she has 4 girls."
Well, we're talking about Queen Latifah. You should know I'm talking about her titties.
So yeah.
So she's like, yo, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? She's like, don't worry. I got a little bit of help. And she pulls out this
Roxy's diary.
ugliest fucking diary I've ever seen. The most obvious thing I've ever seen in my life. A fucking diary. It's all pink with the words diary in 3-4 colors. Like, how old are you?
So yeah, she basically tells she basically tells Velma, like, yeah, they don't show this part, but Velma takes the...
Apparently she cuts a deal with the DA that if she testifies, she'll be set free. Which, how the fuck does that work? It has to be more than that.
Well, the guy who was trying to put Roxy away, it was his idea. So I'm guessing Billy... We'll get to that part because I don't want to give it too much away right now. But yeah,
we're pretty much there.
Oh well, yeah. So okay, so I'm guessing then Billy sent the diary to them, or he sent them a copy of the diary. I don't know.
No, but he took the diary, put in what he needed to put in it.
Yeah,
knowing that they would read it.
Yeah,
he set everybody up.
No, yeah,
including Roxy, because she
how did then he make that how did he make that deal? How did the DA make that deal with Velma? How did he know about the diary?
This is how it had to have happened. Billy gave it to Mama, knowing that Mama would give it to Velma. Velma went to the DA. She had to have gone to the DA directly because there's no way he would know that she had it to even ask her. So she goes. Remember, the DA has a hard on for this case for whatever reason. This is like his fucking coup de grace.
If he puts her away on this case,
they're talking about him being governor and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So Velma tells him, yo, I have this diary. It's got some pretty fucked up shit in here. You might want to check this out. And then he's like, all right, I'll cut you this deal, blah, blah, blah. And then that's it. That's the only way that works. Because there's no, like you said, but Billy knew all that. He knew that.
Yeah, because he's the one who wrote it. Like when she was reading it, because Roxy was getting all upset about it. Like, there's nothing in there. Like,
I didn't write. She was like, there's nothing in there but doodles.
Yeah. So when Velma is reading it, she's just like, what? So it pretty much says that, oh, Fred Casely, I would kill him again if I could. And
well, what it was that said everything else was the word erroneous. And she was like, what? And he was like, so he asked her, he was like, erroneous, huh? That's a pretty big word for Southern whatever. Do you know what it means?
I'm not to
No, that's what she said. That's what he said to her. He was like, do you know what it means? He was like, it sounds like lawyer talk to me. And they're like, what are you insinuating? You know what the fuck I'm insinuating? The DA wrote that shit. Yeah. And he didn't, but he said
it he did it without saying it. Like, it could have only
come. He's like, no, I'm not saying it.
Exactly, but now that you said something, and he's trying to confuse the jury,
he's confusing everybody. The judge himself, because he's flying all over the place. He was like, "Yeah, you're right. Everything's out of order."
And while this is going on, when Billy's questioning Velma, he's doing like a little tap dancing dance to the song, which I do like this part too, because it does everything just comes together so perfectly.
But at the same time, Velma could give two shits because he was like, "Hey, so you made a deal?" She's like, "Yeah." Oh, that was easy. So he told you, so you'd say whatever. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what to do here, Judge.
Yeah, pretty much. So then after Velma gets done testifying, we get the pretty much the verdict. Everybody's innocent. Waiting.
This shit's whack. This shit goes on for way too long.
She ends up being innocent, and people are congratulating her. But while she was innocent, so they had newspapers already, guilty and innocent. So when they waved the white flag that she was innocent, they started throwing the newspapers out. While they're throwing the newspapers out, they hear gunshots. Some woman shoots her lawyer.
There's a lot of women just killing people in this fucking city.
Shoot her lawyer. She shoots her lawyer and her ex-husband.
And everybody runs out the courtroom.
Yeah, and all the reporters run out and everything. And Roxy was like, "Hey, where are you going? Like, where's everybody going?" And so she's getting upset because her fame is over. It's done with.
Once again, Billy's like, "Well, That's Chicago.
And she was all like, wait a minute. Like, what am I getting? What am I getting? And he's
Freedom,
looking at her
bitch.
like, you're getting your freedom. She was all like, you get $2,000. She's like, well, $5,000 when, you know, I get Velma's half. And she was all like, yeah, and then what do I get? And then he's pretty much telling her like, look, I don't know what you thought, but I kept trying to tell you that's not what it was going to be. Like, you're pretty much done. That's it. Be happy with your new life. So Amos is still in there waiting, and he's like, oh, Roxy, we're going home. And she's like, Amos, don't start. There's no baby. I don't want to be with you. But then she completely ignores him, and she's like, and they didn't even want my picture. And that's just what she's focused on. She's just focusing on the fame. So after that, I guess she's been looking for work, and she's doing an audition for these two guys. And while she's doing the audition, they're talking. They're like, hey, isn't this the girl who killed oh boy or whatever?
They don't really care about her. It's like, hey, that's chick who did that thing.
Yeah, he was like, all right, well, we don't need that. So they was like, all right, thank you. And she's like, wait a minute, I could do something else. And they're all like, nah, we're good. We'll be in touch. So while she's getting her stuff together, Velma comes in. And, you know, she's kind of like very dismissive of her. And she was all like, you're still mad. You know, Billy set that whole thing up. I thought she knew or whatever. And she was just all like, no, that's not it. I don't want to work with you. You're an asshole. And
she was like, look, shut the fuck up. Check this out. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants you.
They don't want just one person.
But people are looking for a sister act. I can help you. You can help me. We can make up to such and such amount of money a night or a week or whatever the case may be. She was like, well, why would I work with you? I hate you. And she was like, luckily, this is the kind of business where that kind of fucking thing doesn't matter.
Like, and it really doesn't. And then they're talking about their name, and she was like, think about it, Velma, Kelly, and Roxy. And she's like, well,
shouldn't it be alphabetical?
Yeah.
She's like, whatever. Look, you are thinking about the wrong things right now.
You're acting like a kid right now. So pretty much they come together, and at the end they do this little performance, and they bring guns, these fake guns out, and people start laughing because, you know, they both went to jail.
They killed somebody.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. And then we get Roxy, thank you. We could not have done it without you.
Fucking anteater, man.
But yes,
that is Chicago. You know, that's great. That's the first time I've seen bits and pieces of this with you throughout the years, but I've never seen this whole movie. I didn't even know fucking Richard Gere was in it. I thought this whole movie took place in that prison. No, I didn't know anything.
Yeah,
I know nothing.
That is Chicago. What did you think?
I think musicals are boring and it takes a lot to get me interested in them, and this movie didn't get interesting till the trial. That's how I felt. I felt like the trial was when I was kind of like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking genius. Like, but the rest of the movie was not for me.
It had its moment. I mean, I love this movie.
Yeah, it's one of your faves.
But I think the songs too, like some songs were not as interesting as the other songs. So I think that's kind of what brought it down too. Like you said, when Roxy did that song by herself.
Yeah, that's kind of where it started, right in the middle there.
That's not my favorite part either. I don't really, like, there's some songs where I can do without.
Yeah, because for the most part, the songs were upbeat and they were, you know, they
Not
felt
just upbeat,
important to the story.
They were just interesting,
but these were just kind
too.
of like, like solo shits. Like this one, even like the Amos song, like, well, while semi-necessary, it also was boring as hell. You know, I didn't really care.
I just like the song.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you do what you do.
But yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, I give it a 2 out of 5. What do you give it?
What?
You heard what I said. I just gave you my whole rundown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this movie got a 2 out of 5.
5?
Get over yourself. It's a 2 out of 5 movie.
Give it a 4.
Yeah, for you. Like, why are you so upset at my 2 out of 5? You gave Space Jam a 2.5. Just the fuck you talking to? The movie is a 5 out of 5 at least.
Oh, but yes, guys. Yeah, as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. And yeah, anything to say, babe?
No.
Right. So, bye.
Bye.